Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today's video is going to be an updated perfumes that did not work out for me. So there's a couple in here from my perfume decluttering video that I just uploaded, but there's also quite a few new ones in here that you guys probably haven't seen. So if you're interested in seeing what those are, then stay tuned. Also, if you're enjoying my content, please make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into the video. So all of the fragrances I'm going to be talking about are in this box, and as I've stated in previous videos about perfumes that didn't work out for me, just because they're in this box does not mean that they're not excellent fragrances. They're just ones that didn't work out for me. So I hope this isn't too repetitive, because there's a few in here that were in the video I uploaded previously about my decluttering, but there are quite a few in here that were not in that video. In fact, most of them weren't. So we're just going to go through them one by one together, and let's get started. Okay, so the first one is Dolce Garden. This was in my decluttering video, and I don't want this to be redundant, so I won't spend a lot of time talking about it, but basically this is a very nice floral coconutty fragrance, and it's just not one that, when I'm reaching for that kind of a summer fragrance, this is not the first one that I think of. It's very, very nice, but I have other fragrances that kind of do what this one tries to do, but they do it better, if that makes sense. This is a beautiful fragrance. I just have other ones that I like better. So this is the first one. This is Dolce Garden. The next one is this one from Oakcha, and this is Torrid Day, which is supposed to be a dupe for Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. And I actually really like this fragrance. It's just very, very masculine. It's got a lot of woody notes in there that make it extremely on the masculine side. I don't know if my tastes have changed, because I really liked the original Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford when I smelt it a couple of years ago. It definitely did lean masculine, but I really liked it. I thought it was very smooth and very pretty. And so I don't know if my tastes have changed or if this one is just a little bit less smooth than the original Tobacco Vanille, but in any case, this one is something I really don't think I'm going to wear. The next one is Gucci Rush Eau de Parfum, and this is actually a very nice kind of a sexy evening fragrance, sort of a going out clubbing type of a fragrance. Not that I go out and club, but I really like the scent of this, but it's not one that when I wear it gives me that wow factor. It's not like when I catch a whiff of this on myself, I don't love it. I also really don't like the packaging, and so I don't think it's going to be sitting out on my tray anytime soon. And the fact is, if I have an evening where I need something sexy, I don't want to say provocative, what's the right word? Kind of a sensual fragrance. I just have other ones that I would choose over this one, so I may as well gift this one to somebody or sell this to somebody who will get better use out of it. The next one is this absolutely gorgeous bottle of Madonna Truth or Dare. This is a really nice Magnolia Gardenia tuberose fragrance. They've actually done a very good job with this fragrance. I've told you guys before, this does not smell like a celebrity scent. It smells very luxurious and very realistic, and it's actually beautiful, beautiful fragrance. It reminds me of something I would like to have my house smell like, not so much something I want to smell like myself. So unfortunately, this one did not work out for me. Part of me, again, wants to keep it just for the bottle. The bottle is so beautiful. But again, anybody who knows me knows that I don't like keeping things around unless I'm actually using them or wearing them. So yeah, unfortunately, this is one that did not work out for me. I'm going to have to part ways with. The next one is Viktor and Rolf Flowerbomb Dew. I'm not sure if this was in my last video about fragrances that didn't work out for me. I've accidentally broken off the little grenade pin that was on there, but this is a really nice kind of a powdery flanker of the Viktor and Rolf Flowerbomb. This also has a note of dewdrop in it, so it makes it a little bit fresher. So it's kind of a sensual, pretty, feminine, really beautiful fragrance, but it also has kind of this interesting note of dewdrop in there as well. The reason that this one hasn't worked out for me is simply because I prefer the original so much, hands down, compared to all of the other flankers. And yes, I have smelt all of them. I just prefer the original Flowerbomb to all of them. So there's no point to me keeping both of them. So this one I would rather just go to a home where somebody can use it. The next one is Angel Eau de Toilette, and this one was one that I purchased very early on during the COVID isolation. I had had a sample of it and I really liked it, but this is just one that I was saving for the winter time. I think it's a little bit more appropriate for cold weather because it is quite thick and dense with that patchouli and all of those gourmand notes. And it's just not one that I miss. It's not one that I really look forward to bringing out and wearing. I decided to declutter this one. This was in my decluttering video, so I'm not going to talk about it too terribly much. The next one is Elie Saab Girl of Now Forever, and the reason I'm decluttering this one is because, again, this one was a blind purchase, and it's a very nice, nutty, sweet fragrance, very good for the summer. It's very youthful, but I really prefer just the original Elie Saab Le Parfum. To me, that one is a little bit more elevated. It's a little bit more classy and timeless, and I just like the scent better. So even though this one is actually beautiful, and I actually really like the bottle and everything, I would rather just gift this to somebody who can use it. The next one is Shalimar Eau de Parfum. This is just the original Shalimar, and this one I had purchased blindly as well, solely because of the history, because of the story behind it. I just really wanted a Shalimar in my collection, that basically just to have it. And again, anybody who's been following my channel for any length of time knows that I'm very passionate about not holding on to sentimental items or holding on to things that don't really have a purpose for me. And although it's kind of cool to have a fragrance that has all the history that Shalimar does, and this has been around forever, I just don't want to keep it around just for that purpose. I would rather it go to somebody who actually wears it, because I certainly will not wear it. It is not my vibe. And I know there's a lot of people out there who actually really like this fragrance. The next one is one that was also in my last perfumes that didn't work out for me video. This is Amore from Cacharel. Oh, my cat is trying to get in. Yes, and come in. So this is a really nice fragrance. It definitely has 90s vibes. It's a little bit dated. Otherwise, it's a beautiful fragrance. I just don't think I'm going to grab for it. So this is a 30 ml of Amore by Cacharel. The next one is another designer dupe, and this is by Oakcha. This is Moira, and it is supposed to be a dupe for Parfum de Marly Herod. And I love Herod. I love the way this smells. The reason that I've decided to part ways with it is because it definitely does lean a little bit masculine, and the vision that I want for my perfumes is I want whatever I'm wearing to make me feel very feminine, very sensual, very ladylike, and this just doesn't fit that vision for me. And I would rather see this on my boyfriend or on a man. I think it's definitely more suited for a man. So I've decided to rehome this one. The next one is this Pure Royale from Federico Mahora. This is supposed to be a dupe for Black Opium from YSL, and this is a really nice fragrance, but like I said in my decluttering video, it's a little bit redundant for me to have this one and the original Black Opium. So for that reason, I would rather gift this to somebody who's actually going to use it and enjoy it. This next one is one that was in my last perfumes that didn't work out for me video, and it's still here, and this is Versace Bright Crystal Absolu. This is a 10 ml, and this is actually a really, really nice fragrance. So many times I've come back to it and I've smelt it and I think it's so nice, but it's just not my vibe. I just don't wear those super bright, crisp, kind of sparkling fragrances very much. Yeah, just not my vibe. Gorgeous, but I won't wear it. The next one is this one from Federico Mahora as well, and this is the Pure 703. This is a very light, airy, fresh, kind of a floral fragrance, and it is a lovely fragrance, but again, just not 100% my vibe, so I would rather pass it on for somebody else to enjoy. The next one was in my last video I did about perfumes that didn't work out for me, and this is Dolce & Gabbana number 3, L'Imperatrice. This one, again, I know a lot of people really like it, and I actually really like the way it smells. Like, I think it smells beautiful. I just don't think I will ever wear it. This is a very fresh, kind of a refreshing, watery, almost like you sprayed yourself with a mister bottle full of fruits. Just like super refreshing, kiwi, watermelon, rhubarb kind of a fragrance. It smells to me kind of like a fruity shampoo or something, but it's just the type of fragrance I don't want to actually smell like. I cannot see myself wearing this fragrance ever. So even though it's beautiful, I do have to part ways with it. The next one is this gorgeous bottle of Versace Crystal Noir. This is a really hot seller. Everybody talks about this one. This is one I've actually had in my past, and this is a really nice, spicy, coconutty, kind of a cool smelling, and by cool I mean cold. A lot of people describe it like that. It has kind of a very cold sense about it, and I do really like the way it smells, but I just have other fragrances that I would wear before I would wear this one, so I've decided to rehome Versace Crystal Noir. Okay, moving on, we have Olympea Aqcua, and the reason I have decided to part ways with this one, first of all, this one was actually on sale for $19.99. I think because it was being discontinued, they moved it to their discount area. This one is just a little bit excessive for me to have both, because like I've told you guys before, I do prefer the original to this one. Next, we have these 3 little miniatures of Dolce & Gabbana Eau de Parfum, Gia Tocca, and Annick Goutal Tenue de Soirée. All of these were in my decluttering video that I uploaded recently, and they're all very nice. I just have a full bottle of this one, and these two I don't think I will be purchasing a full bottle of. So there's just no point in me keeping them. I don't know why I hold on to them. For some reason, I think I like the idea of having mini perfumes, but if I'm not going to wear them, then I may as well just get rid of them. The next one will come as a surprise to many of you, and this is my Mon Guerlain Eau de Toilette. This is a full 100 ml bottle, which I got from, I think, Fragrance Net. Absolutely beautiful. One of my favorite perfume lines out there is Mon Guerlain, but I just found it to be a little bit excessive to have the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum and the Eau de Parfum Intense. I prefer a stronger fragrance. This one actually does have really good performance. It lasts for a really long time, and it actually does project very, very well. It's definitely a higher quality Eau de Toilette, but like I say, I just don't need all three of them. I feel like one of them or all of them will end up going bad before I get through them. The next one that I've decided to part ways with is this absolutely stunning bottle of Lancôme La Nuit Trésor. This is the original one. It is a full bottle. I think it's a 75 ml, and this is a really beautiful, kind of a fruity, gourmand fragrance. The bottle is absolutely exquisite. I just love it. The bottle is probably my favorite part, but the reason I don't grab for this one very often is because it's a little bit too fruity for me. I just prefer something a little bit deeper, darker. This is very, very nice. Don't get me wrong. This is still a very sexy, sensual, sweet women's fragrance. Really good for going out, really good for dates and stuff like that, but I just never grab for it. It's just not one that I ever grab for. So this next one was also in my declutter video. This is Marc Jacobs Divine Decadence. I really, really like this one. This is very similar to the original Decadence, but this one has kind of a sparkling, brighter quality about it. It's a little bit less deep and less heady, and it's a little bit more glamorous, kind of. The reason I've decided to part ways with this one, as I talked about in my declutter video, is that I find it a little bit excessive to have both, and I just like the original one better. So again, this was kind of an impulsive purchase during COVID isolation, and it's gorgeous, but I really just don't need both of them. So I'm hoping to find somebody else who can get some use out of it. The next one, and I honestly can't believe I'm even parting ways with this one. This was in my perfume declutter video. This is Shalimar Soufflé de Parfum. This is an absolutely gorgeous, kind of an incensey, spicy, lemony, cookie kind of a fragrance. That's how I always describe it. It's a little bit vanilla, it's a little bit lemon, but it definitely has that kind of spicy Shalimar DNA, but without being super old smelling. It's a very nice fragrance, just not one that I think I'm gonna wear. I tried wearing it on myself, and I just didn't like the sillage that I was getting, like the way it smelled. It didn't make me feel great. It actually almost nauseated me a little bit. So yeah, just one that I don't think I can wear for myself, even though I absolutely love the way it smells. So I will give this one to somebody who can get some better use out of it. The next one is this little travel size of Ameline Phlur. This is actually a very, very nice fragrance, but this one is just a really nice, light, inoffensive, kind of office appropriate, airplane appropriate, just very light, pleasant floral fragrance. It's just not one that I grab for ever. So I don't want to hold on to it and just let it go bad. The next one is a 10 ml travel size of Tom Ford Orchid Soleil. So this is actually a really, really nice summery fragrance. It's one that I was talking to you guys about quite a few times before, about trying to give it a chance for the summertime. And yeah, I just don't love it. I tried wearing it and I just really didn't enjoy it for myself. There's other fragrances I would rather wear. I think it's beautiful, but definitely wouldn't have been my first choice. This was also a blind buy during quarantine, so I'm hoping to find this one a new home as well. The next one is this little Federico Mahora, this little Federico Mahora Pheromone fragrance. This is a dupe for Jimmy Choo by Jimmy Choo. Of course, I already have Jimmy Choo, but it just seems, again, kind of redundant for me to have Jimmy Choo by Jimmy Choo as well as this one. This next one is Al Haramain Amber Oud Rouge. This was in my most recent perfume declutter video, and this is an absolutely gorgeous fragrance. This is supposed to be a dupe for Baccarat Rouge 540, but for me it's a little bit masculine, and it's just not one that I plan to wear a whole lot. Like, it's beautiful. I just don't think it's going to be one that I gravitate toward more than my other ones, and I don't want to hold on to it and let it go bad. Yeah, so I am hoping to find this one a new home as well. The next one is Sophia by Sofia Vergara. So this one has been so talked about. This one I purchased because of all of the really good reviews that it got on YouTube. And don't get me wrong, this is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. It's probably one of the best celebrity fragrances I've ever smelt. My only concern with this one is that even though it comes in an absolutely gorgeous bottle, which I love, and even though the fragrance is quite nice, I can still tell that it's not the quality that I want. It still, to me, smells a little bit watered down. This one is very sweet, very feminine. It has like a little bit of Olivier Belle kind of vibes to it. Some people have compared it to Coco Mademoiselle. If I have to choose, I'm probably just going to wear Olivier Belle or Coco Mademoiselle over this one. To me, it doesn't smell that strongly like either of them. It just does have a little bit of the vibes sometimes. But yeah, I just have to find it a new home because I'm very selective with my fragrances, and if I'm going to pick one, I'm going to pick one that has really good performance, really good sillage, and just that I really, really love wearing. So this one, I'm going to find a new home. The next one, and quite possibly the only Chanel fragrance I will ever part ways with, and this is Coco Eau de Toilette. This one was a blind buy during quarantine. I had never smelt Coco at the bottle before. I know I've smelt it on people before though. This definitely has some major sweater weather vibes and definitely some 80s vibes. This is something I feel like I've smelt on my mom, I've smelt on an aunt, I've smelt numerous places before. It's a gorgeous fragrance, very cuddly, very cozy, a little bit mature, definitely very kind of vintage smelling. This is one that I really don't think I will ever wear, and I just have so many Chanel fragrances as it is that I would rather just find a home for this one. So this is Coco Eau de Toilette. And the last one in my box of fragrances that did not work out for me is Armaf, the Pride of Armaf for women. This is kind of a niche brand. I think this is a Middle Eastern brand as well. Armaf has a lot of really, really good fragrances. I've smelt a few of them in the past. This one has major good girl vibes. This one smells a lot like Carolina Herrera Good Girl. It has a lot of the same notes as well. There's coffee, there's some gourmand notes, there's some floral notes. It's actually a very beautiful, sexy fragrance. It has excellent performance, really good sillage. So yeah, even though this is actually an incredible find, really, really good fragrance, I'm hoping that I can find somebody else who will put this fragrance to use. So if you like Carolina Herrera Good Girl or fragrances like that, you might really, really like the Pride of Armaf. Check it out on Fragrantica if you're interested in seeing all the notes. So that's it for today's perfumes that did not work out for me video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you haven't already, head on over and follow me on Instagram because I do share a lot of things on there that I don't on YouTube. And thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you all next time.